You keep pouring into your team. You've got clear goals, incentives. You're checking in with them. But for some reason, it's just not giving you the results. Your people are not delivering the results that you expect. Now, you may sit there and be like, oh, are they burned out? What's going on? I'm doing everything right. I want to reframe this for you and ask yourself, is your trust fractured? Is your trust in your team fractured? That's what I want you to ask yourself. Dr. Philip-Neri here. I've spent over 30 years coaching high-level teams in high-stakes environments, and this is what my PhD research was around: team leadership, team cohesion. So let me ask you this. If you're a leader and your team's not bringing you the results, but you feel like you're doing everything you can, ask yourself these 3 questions. Are you consistent? And are you especially consistent when there's stress, there's pressure, there's deadlines, right? What does your team see from you as a leader? Are you delivering somebody to them that's just consistent? You're fast, you got quick critical decision-making skills, you know what to do, you know how to guide, you know how to teach, you know how to mentor, bam, and you're just showing a consistent leader. Or are you all over the place, right? The stress, the deadlines, they bring out a different version of you. So when things are calm and things are good, you're like this happy-go-lucky leader. And yeah, you're checking in, you're like, how do you feel? You're giving them roles. But the minute the shit hits the fan, you're a basket case. You're an absolute basket case as the leader. So then think about that. What does the team look like to you? They're like, my God, like this individual, guy or gal, you're a nightmare. You're a real nightmare. Because when the rubber meets the road again, when there's a ton of pressure, ton of stress, they're looking for consistency. They're looking for that role model. They're looking for that lighthouse. Yes, lighthouse. Think about the function of a lighthouse, right? In a storm, when the sea is calm, the lighthouse serves its same purpose, right? It's there. That light is on every night to guide ships. Doesn't matter. They're just solid. They're solid as could be. Now, the next one is, do you have double standards? Now, and I know, and I'm asking you to reflect deeply, but do you have double standards as a leader? Sometimes are you letting your high performance slide? Because you're like, oh, well, they're just, yeah, it's okay. But then somebody else, you're reaming and you're holding them to the fire, but you're not doing the same for X as you are for Y. So, people always say, well, you got to treat everybody equal. It's actually not about equal. It's about equity, or yeah, equity, equality, right? Kind of, equal is equality, but equity. And what I mean by that is, let me explain it. It's people are at different levels. Okay. So somebody who's got far more experience, maybe they got that sixth sense, they operate out of a 9 out of 10, that mastery experience is high. They're in the right role, right people, right job. They're in the right role. And that person, like, they just get it. Well, you can push that person harder, correct? You can push them because of their experience, because of their talent. And the person that needs more growth, you're going to push them in a different direction, right? You're going to challenge them, but not to the same level of intensity as you are the first person. So think about, how are you treating everybody, and are you creating double standards? And because people, they respect the fact that they're at different levels, and the envelope can be moved a millimeter more at a time for different people, but you've got to showcase you're doing it fairly with equity. Now, the last one is feedback. And is your feedback accurate? Is it fair? Did it take into account a 360-degree perspective? And how are you providing that feedback? And I have a previous video called The Feedback Trap. Watch it, because I talk about, as a leader, have you earned the right to give the feedback? That's what that video is all about. But this video, when you're giving the feedback and we're talking about trust, and have you fractured trust as a leader, you have to understand that in different environments, feedback's given differently. So let me give you an example. In an athletic environment, if you grow up being an athlete, you're okay with public criticism. criticism. You're okay with public feedback because your coaches are going to hold you accountable, give you feedback in front of the rest of the team. They're going to do it. It's just part of it. And there's varying degrees of intensity, obviously, depending on the situation. But in front of your team as an athlete, you're expected just to take it in, hone it, change the behavior, move on. In the corporate setting, they always talk about praise in public, feedback in private. And there's obviously value for that in an athletic setting too, depending on the severity and the degree of it. But to some degree, at some degree, if you want results and you want high performers, you got to be able to give feedback. And as long as it's done professionally, whether it's done publicly, who cares? If you've got that culture of your team where we're all moving forward, we have our eyes on the prize, just like an athletic team, and we're all moving forward, well then at that point, what's wrong with giving some criticism publicly? Because we're all growing from it, right? It's your delivery. It's how you're delivering it, correct? Now, in the athletic environments, we all know sometimes coaches cuss, they get intense, they scream and yell at their players, blah, 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 blah. And that's not what I'm talking about. Sometimes in an athletic environment, that's actually needed. Less likely in a corporate environment, correct? Much less likely. But the fact is, we got to start changing the culture that feedback's not this negative thing. It's how we all grow. And in a cohesive culture, we all grow together, right? You've heard we're only strong as our weakest link. Well, we all grow together, and there's got to be enough personal responsibility. There's got to be enough self-awareness that you can take that feedback and apply it. So what I'm asking you to do is look through the lens of a leader and look at how you're addressing your behavior when it's a little hectic, double standards, and your feedback loop. And I want you to take a look at what could you do differently? What could you do differently? So every Tuesday, I drop a video for high-level leaders, strategic thinkers in a multitude of different environments. Subscribe to the channel, drop your comments. I'll answer your questions. Hope you got some tidbits out of this video. Dr. Philip-Neri.